Morning chaps, Harrison and Gary. It's Mental Health Awareness Week. This year the theme is loneliness. Gary, you're running a marathon every single day. What does loneliness mean to you, and what do you say to others who are struggling?
I often run alone, but I'm certainly not lonely. I do see people out on the cycle path every single day who I know are lonely. I know that they live alone, and I often encourage me children who are often cycling with me just to say hello, because you don't know what people are going through, and if you speak to them, you might be the only person who has spoken to them that day. So loneliness, even when you're surrounded by friends, you can still feel loneliness. You can still feel alone. You might not contribute to conversations and things, but there's support and help out there. I was looking through the internet the other day, just looking at loneliness and what it actually meant to different people, and the bubbliest, happiest people in the world suffer from loneliness. You know, it is, you know, common to sometimes just feel as if you're on your own, although you've got people around you. You feel as if things are just happening to you. So for me, I would encourage anybody to get outside and, you know, to explore what we've got, the beauty that surrounds us on this cycle path. I love running here. It's different every single day. Speak to people, try and get out of your shell a little bit more, and seek support if you need it.
Awesome. And Harrison, do you reiterate that message? Obviously, you're not running a marathon every day, but you're often walking up a fell with a massive backpack going to cook dinner. What does the outdoors mean for you, and what does it mean within regards to loneliness?
Absolutely, yeah. I think as Gary said there, I think sort of getting outside is hugely important for avenues like that. I think it's a huge sort of escapism moment. There's elements in that solitude as well that can be beneficial too. I mean, either it's running by yourself or up in the fells, that escapism really from the sort of mundane life we can have, and really the thoughts you maybe have that can stress you down for each day, that you just sort of get out there in this beautiful part of the country we're in and just escape from those thoughts. But as said too, I mean, obviously at any time those loneliness moments can strike. I do think activity is a big important part of sort of benefiting sort of body and mind in that way. Yeah, I might not be running a marathon each day, but I think sort of everyone's got their own mountain to climb, sort of whatever size. So I think it's very much just getting out there, putting one foot in front of the other, really getting started on things and building that sort of routine going. I mean, when I started back sort of my particular journey back in 2016, obviously completely from a very different life, drinking daily, sort of hugely overweight, smoking sort of way. I mean, didn't do any exercise whatsoever, into that sort of new journey into the fells where at first, I mean, it was a complete baptism of fire. It was something I really struggled with. And as time went on, those little progressions into there to sort of swapping the hiking boots for trainers, going out there, eventually running a marathon myself, but certainly not to the extent of each day. I mean, it's mind-blowing, that sort of activity. I mean, that was a huge sort of moment for me, bucket list moment of doing one in a year. So 365 is something else. But yeah, definitely getting out there, very important, especially a time like this, Mental Health Awareness Week, which if it does anything, I think just pinpoints a focus on the fact that you aren't alone at this time, and the resources that are out there, do reach out if you are struggling, and it is so important to talk.
Gary, what does the outdoors do for your mind? How does it make you feel?
I think when I'm running outdoors, as opposed to running on the treadmill, it energises me. I always feel better when I've finished, regardless of what the elements are. I always think if it's raining, there's no flowers without rain. You know, if it's a bit windy, it dries the washing. You know, you always look for the positive, and for me, that the positive is being outdoors and getting that feeling of you've achieved something, and making yourself happy. Do more of what makes you happy.
Harrison, outdoors for you, what does it make how does it make your mind feel?
For me, the outdoors is just where we're meant to be, really. I think we've lost sight of that sometimes in some of maybe the inner city living, that obviously we don't have too much in this county, but the sort of the aspects of the outdoors maybe we haven't quite appreciated over the last few years. I think during COVID and the pandemic, many people got themselves back out there, experienced little moments of outside when it was sort of I guess a solace moment really to get out there with activity, whether it was walking, cycling, running for by chance. But for me too, the sort of activity I go into the fells and cooking out there again, sort of that aspect of nature is that sort of secret ingredient you just can't replicate, and that instead in the food side of things, but also for sort of mental and physical action too.